100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big number. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah. Check the wrist, man, got him hot. Hey, man, can't ball like this, man. Lord, pass the big scam and distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards. You just on your 5th grand. Run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up.
Welcome back in, everyone, to EA Sports coverage of the NFL. It's the Raiders in possession of the ball as we get back into the action in quarter number 2. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. A big play that time for the Raiders, and even 50 yards. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Carr, and it's caught. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal.
That's how we do, D. That's how we do. They don't want to know. They don't want none of this.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Carr now on 3rd and goal. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The Bears moving hastily in the hurry-up offense. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
You ready? Mike Bobo. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
1st and 10, stick. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete. It was the veteran Prince Amukamara that time who had the play covered from the start. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Stick back to pass. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. Now stick. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Pat O'Donnell as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll start up in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Russell Wilson, terrific in the victory, as his guys up their mark to 4-1 now. From there, we'll head east, all the way to the Steel City, to check on the Steelers at home in Pittsburgh. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Willie Snead, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, see what's happening with the Bengals. And they've got the lead over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. A.J. Green, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi's Stadium, with the Browns already playing their 3rd primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks. Now this one complete on the slant route. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards into Chicago, first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Corey Littleton able to get outside the numbers and drop him for a loss of a yard. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now a first carry for their fullback. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. On second down, Bowden. Oh, that gives him a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle.
Yeah, I think that.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Bears. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who popped it out of The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
That catch good for 5. It's third down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 5. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. Stick from the gun. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Raiders now to take over. Last week they got the victory against the Colts. So they lead this one as well as they begin things here 1st and 10. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now they'll run on the draw. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. To throw, it's Carr. Short throw taken in by the tight end O'Leary. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Carr now 14 out of 70, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Again, it's Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Yeah, yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And now, and the ball is knocked out.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Stick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Max Crosby coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team inside the 20, and it's at the 17-yard line. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Carr to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. 2nd year in Oakland for Walter after being signed off the Ravens practice squad, but only 6 catches, 75 yards a season ago. Then he got a lot of hype in the offseason following OTAs. Their offensive coordinator saying, you know, Darren, you have that position. Coach Gruden went as far as to say, Darren, you have the chance of a lifetime here. So now it's time for Darren Waller to go out there and prove it. They'll keep it on the ground. Bowden. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Bowden. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Carr now on 1st down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man. And
now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Carr to throw again. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a back break. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Jalen Richard, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments. Let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd and 10, it's Stick. And this one's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Corey Littleton picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah. He needs better protection, that's for sure. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And take it right at the 35. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The throw complete here to Williams, and he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards there and a first down. Carr now on first down. It's caught by Aguilar. And he's taken down inside the 30. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. On first down, Bowden. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Throwing now is Carr. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Tyrell Williams. His first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Onto the field now come the Bears. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now they'll run it with Cohen. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. That one whistled against the big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and that will come the offense as they take over. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So So for Oakland, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.